Hey, Mrs. Lohoff here. This is lesson 3.13, Subtraction of Fractions, F, and today is a mastery check. So I am going to go over some problems that are very similar to what you're going to see in the quiz and help you prepare for that. Let's get going. I have to wait for things to happen. This is actually my second time making the video. The first one never recorded. Oh, it's been a day. Okay, here we go. 3/6 minus 2/12. The first thing we always do when adding or subtracting fractions, we look at the denominator. 6 and 12, those are two different numbers, so we need to find the least common multiple for 6 and 12. Any ideas of what numbers on the multiplication chart 6 and 12 will have in common, and which one might be the least? If not, let's look at the chart. If you do know, let's see if the chart confirms what you think. So I'm going to fill out the chart for 6, and while I'm doing that, I am going to be thinking about 12, and if 12 will also have that number in there. 6 times 1 is 6, and you can copy straight from a multiplication chart. 6 times 2 is 12. Well, that's our number. 12 times 1 is 12. Hey, we found our least common multiple right away. It's 12. That was the fastest ever. So now we need to change both fractions so that the denominators are 12 and we are subtracting them. All right, to get from 6 to 12, we multiplied 6 times 2. If you do that to one part of a fraction, you have to do the same thing to the top part of the fraction. 3 times 2 is 6. That one's done. Next fraction already has 12, so I just copy over the 2. Now we have denominators that are the same and we can subtract. The denominator will remain 12, and we subtract the numerators. 6 minus 2 is 4. All right, we are done, but we need to look at that fraction and see, can we write it in simplest form? Can I divide 4 and 12 by a number to get a fraction that has smaller numbers but represents the same amount? They're both even numbers. I know I can divide by 2. You might have a different number in mind, and I'll explain that in a minute. I can divide both the top and the bottom by 2. My new fraction, 4 divided by 2 is 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Hey, I still have even numbers. I can divide by 2 again. Now, if you thought to divide by 4, you could have done that to start, and that would have saved a step. But you don't have to. You can divide by 2 and just keep going until you end up with a number that cannot be reduced anymore. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Whenever you have a fraction and the top number is a 1, you are in simplest form, and the answer is 1/3. Let's look at another example. 7/8 minus 1/4. Denominators are not the same. We need a least common multiple. All right, let's use the chart. Maybe you have one in your mind. I don't know, but I'm going to use the chart. And I'm going to think as I put in my factors of 8, if that might appear on the 4 chart as well. 8 times 1 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. We have our least common multiple. Again, super easy this time. Doesn't always happen that way. So it's 8 is our least common multiple. So we're going to change our fractions so that both fractions have a denominator of 8, and I'm subtracting them. I copied that over too. Well, we already have 8 here, so the 7 gets copied over. It's like you're multiplying 8 times 1, if that helps you. I could say, I multiply this times 1 to get 8, so multiply the top times 1, I get 7. With the 4, I multiplied 4 times 2 to get 8, so I need to do that in the top as well. 1 times 2 is 2. Now we have fractions where the denominators are the same. It will remain 8. 7 minus 2 is 5. Now we have to look at this fraction. Can I divide 5 by a number and divide 8 by that same number? No. That means I'm done. The answer is 5/8. All right. 4/7 minus 2/6. Our denominators are not the same, so we need a least common multiple. All right, 7 and 6. Let's get the chart going. 7 and 6. Change my color. I wish it had, it does kind of have. Let's use red. All right, as I work through my chart for 7, I'm going to think about if I know that fact will appear for 6 as well. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. Remember, you can copy directly from your multiplication chart. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 5, 35. 7 times 6 is 42. Okay, well, 6 times 7 will be 42. They have that in common, and there's not going to be any number before that. Let me put them in so that you can see. All right, if you want to pause it, you go right ahead to look to see. The only number they have in common is 42 when you multiply them to each other. All right, so our least common multiple is 42. We need to now change each fraction. Let me make that look more like a fraction so that my minus sign kind of stands out. These need to all be 42. To get 7 to 42, we multiplied 7 times 6. So multiply the top by 6. 4 times 6 is 24. To get from 6 to 42, I multiplied 6 times 7. So multiply 2 times 7. 2 times 7 is 14. Now we have denominators that are the same. We can subtract these fractions. Our denominator will remain 42. 24 minus 14. You might not be able to do it in your head, but it is 10. Now we have to look at these numbers and decide, hey, 10 42nds. Can I divide the numerator by a number that I can also divide the denominator by? Hey, wait, they're both even. When numbers are even, we can always divide by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 42 divided by 2 is 21. Can I divide these numbers by the same thing? No. This is my final answer. All right, we're going to do one more. This time we have 3 numbers, but also look carefully at the signs. You will have an example like this on the quiz. I'm going to add and then subtract. Remember PEMDAS, way at the beginning of the year, find the parentheses, solve the multiplication and division problems in order from left to right, solve the addition and subtraction problems in order from left to right. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be solving this in order from left to right. But first, look at these denominators. Oh, all 3 of them are different. Oh, man. Okay, let's get the chart ready. I have to skip over one, yeah. I'm going to also move me up here. There we go. All right. 6, 7, and 2. Those of you who are saying 6, 7, I hear you right now in my head. We're not going there. I already did 6 and 7. It was 42, remember? Well, let's put that in. 6 times 7 is 42. And 7 times 6 is 42. Can I multiply 2 times something to get 42? Yeah, it's an even number, so I can. 2 times 21 is going to give me 42. That wasn't as hard as we thought because we already did the work for these two numbers. Our least common multiple is 42 again. Oh, sweet. I think I have to move me back down here. Yep. Okay. I run out of room on this one. Least common multiple is 42. Now, when you copy the fractions over, be very careful. Copy the adding and subtracting correctly. Double check that you did it right. We have 3 fractions here. All of them are going to have 42 as the denominator. Maybe I want to write them first. I can do it this way. I don't have to, but I just thought of it. I'm going to add the first 2 together and subtract the second 2. All right, let's get our numerators. To go from 6 to 42, we multiplied 6 times 7. 5 times 7 is 35. Next fraction. To go from 7 to 42, I multiplied 7 times 6. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 6. 2 times 6 is 12. All right, one more. To go from 2 to 42, we multiplied 2 times 21. 1 times 21, oh, that's easy, is 21. All right. Yay! All of our denominators are the same. Now we have to be very careful that we follow those signs and we add the first 2 fractions together and subtract the third one. So 35 plus 12 is 47. And I'm going to write that down here so that then I can come and subtract 21. By the way, our answer is going to be in 40 seconds again. Okay, 7 minus 1 is 6. 4 minus 2 is 2. So the answer is 26 40-seconds. But we have to look at that fraction and decide, hey, can we write it in simpler terms? Let's take a look at it. 26 over 42. They're both even. Yeah. Whenever you have even numbers, you can divide by 2. So maybe that's all we have to do. We'll take a look here. 26 divided by 2, 13. 42 divided by 2 is 21. I know that 13 is prime. That means I'm done. And this is my answer. Good luck on the quiz, guys. When you have your problem that has 3 fractions like this, look very carefully at the signs for adding and subtracting. That is number 1 where the problems come up. It may not be the same order as what I showed you. You might have a subtract first and then add. You have to wait and see. All right, good luck on the quiz. See you soon. Okay, bye.